I know we have our clerk and recorder in the audience.
Mr. President, County Commissioners, thank you for giving me a few moments. And Commissioner Waller, if I might interject, I know it might have been traumatic for you to take your son to college, but I understand from Facebook that Truman had a celebration and party right after you had left.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. He unfriended me on Facebook as soon as he got it. No.
Well, I wanted to talk to you a little bit, to give you a little bit of an update on the election. I got my election staff here, and I also very excited about an award that our election department received last month, and I want at the end of it get an opportunity to tell you about the award and what we did to distinguish ourselves in that area, and then if possible to get a picture with you all in celebration of that. So first up, in elections, September 23rd, that's this Saturday, ballots will be mailed to our military and overseas voters. It's 45 days out, and in compliance with federal law, we'll be mailing them out on or before Saturday. We'll have a little over 3,000 ballots we'll be sending out to them, and about 2,000 people will vote online, that have that ability to vote online. Tabor notices will go out on or before October 6th. For anyone who wants to have pro or con statements, they have until the end of this week to give those that are county ones here and to their other participating political entities, to their political entities by the end of the week, so that we can prepare those Tabor notices. Ballots will be mailed on Monday, October 16th, and we'll have a little over 393,000 ballots mailed out. Our VSPC, which stands for Voter Service and Polling Location, will open up at our Citizen Service Center on that day, on the 16th, with our other 8 VSPCs opening up on October 30th. We're only required by law to have 5, 1 per motor vehicle, but we always go that extra, and we'll have a total of 9. We'll have one in Monument, we'll have one in Fountain, we have one at the Independence Center that I'll be talking about here a little later. Manitou Springs. So we spread it out so it makes it available for all our citizens. Election Day, reminder, is November 7th, and we'll be open all day from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Ballots must be in our ballot box or postmarked and received by us by 7 p.m. Anything after 7 p.m. Will not be tallied against the election. And if people like to get more information, they can go to epcvotes.com or call our phone at 575-VOTES. That's 575-VOTE-8683. And Commissioner Littleton, we have a tab now on the website so that you can look and ensure that we received your ballot. So we do have that available on our website also. And then, as I mentioned, we had last month from the Election Center, which is a national organization that certifies election administrators. There's about 1,000 people throughout the country that have this award, this certification. I got a staff full of them that either have that certification. I have it. Our senior election officials in our department and many of our junior ones are on their way working towards that. So with that, we received recognition for our work in innovation for voting accessibility. And how that came about is last year, we began working with the Independence Center. And some of you probably are aware of their mission, but they are a center that's been founded by people with disabilities to serve those that need independent living services in their home, healthcare services, and they cover the Pikes Peak region. So we reached out to them, and they gave us a training class on etiquette with respect to handling people who are disabled voters. You know, how to address them, how to be aware of their disabilities and make the voting experience, you know, a very positive thing for us. So from that training class, when they came in, worked with our election judges, the conversation furthered that, hey, they have a very unique facility that helps people who are disabled in the community, and that it could be a resource for us to use to reach out to those folks. So we had a voter service and polling location there. We did an open house so that people could come in and see the election equipment. In fact, we have an open house today from 1 to 3 with them where we'll register voters and show the voters there our new election equipment, because it has some additional aids that will help them with voting. So we have that today from 1 to 3, and hopefully you have some time maybe to stop by this afternoon. So that's why we received the award. And if it would be possible, if I can get my election staff to come up here, and I'll introduce them. Have Liz Olson, who is our Chief Election Officer. Angela Leith, who is our Election Director. We have Nan Moreland, who is one of our newest employees. She worked in elections in Florida for a number of years. Rebecca Roberson, Cynthia Fuller, Brandy Bance, who is our supervisor in elections. We have Michelle Stroop and Brian McClellan and Stacy Peacock, and another person who is new with our organization but not new with the Clerk and Recorder's office. He came to us a number of years ago. He worked as an election judge. We thought very much of his capabilities. He worked in motor vehicle for how many years, Greg?
4 years.
4 years, and then he recently transferred into our election department. So there's your award-winning staff. They have won 4 awards in the last 5 years, so it's a very distinguished group, and as far as citizens, we can all be very proud that we have such dedicated officials here conducting our elections. With that, do you have any questions?
Well, we know how much we love elections around here.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
no, congratulations.
Thank
It's
you.
fantastic. Any comments before we take a picture?
I would just always say, I think it's good to remind people about the integrity of the elections. And I think one of the best ways to tell if you're doing an election correctly is to, effectively have an audit after it's over, to have some sort of a recount. So if you wouldn't mind, chronicle the most recent recount we've had and how that impacted the outcome of any election.
Let me just add, I have great faith in the county's clerk and recording office.
Yeah, we did have a rather close election in the Commissioner District 4 election last year in their primary, and it was a narrow election, but we redid a recount, and I believe it was 23 votes, Commissioner Loginos, that you prevailed.
Oh, gosh, no.
It was 34 votes. It changed 1 vote, so it was a 33 vote. So 1 vote changed out of all those thousands of ballots.
Yeah.
So we prefer to say you won by 4 touchdowns, so that's a huge victory.
Is he landslide Loginos?
All right. Commissioner Vanderwerf.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks. This is so important that this is always done right. This is a constitutional right for our citizens. This is one of the foundations of our country, and you are on the front line defending that. So I don't know about you all, but I'm giving you a round of applause for this.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Commissioner Littleton.
Since we're on elections, just citizens who have not had the opportunity and would ever want to take it, it is really fascinating to go and visit the Clerk and Recorder's office, which is a public office. It's paid for by taxpayers. You can go see how the election process works. You can look through windows. You can see the integrity that we have here, the many different stations that every single ballot goes through to verify signatures, to ensure that every I is dotted and every T is crossed. If there's a question on a ballot, it goes to a team of people that is bipartisan for them to be able to double check it. It's a really fascinating thing, and I would really encourage citizens to go take a look.
And we do. We welcome people to come through. That we have watchers and observers that come in, and we make them feel at home and free to ask whatever questions they need to ask. We have an open house coming up here next week, I believe, in our election area for citizens to come in, but they're welcome to during the actual election when ballots come in and are being tabulated. We welcome them in to observe the process.
Fantastic. Anybody else? Okay.
All right.
Let's get a picture.
We want to take the picture this way.